What's up, YouTube family, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your host Jay, and man, we definitely got to dig deep into this Young Thug YSL Rico trial update. Now today, man, the state actually just filed a motion to revoke his probation. Now, is anybody surprised? Keep in mind, Fulton County has been going crazy with this actual Rico situation, so you think they really want to let him slide? Before we dig deep into what happened and break it all down, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Whether you're a fan of the state, the case, of Young Thug, or all of the above, make sure you hit that like button to help the channel continue to grow. Tap that notification bell so you won't miss a drop whenever we drop. Y'all know the vibes, grab a seat. Man, we finna dig deep. If you're new, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, that like, share, comment, and subscribe. Grab a seat, we finna dig deep. So, as y'all know, King Slime, aka Young Thug, has only been released for a short period of time. After taking that plea in the YSL Rico trial that in my personal opinion he should not have taken, it seems like today the state still hasn't gotten over their actual loss, and now they filed a new motion to revoke his probation. But is the state actually being fair based off of this actual motion that they filed? Let's dig. Now, according to the motion, as it reads, the state's motion to revoke probation comes now the state of Georgia by and through the undersigned counsel and moves this honorable court to immediately, not later, not tomorrow, but right now, immediately, revoke the probation of the defendant, Jeffrey Williams. The defendant has demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law, the safety of witnesses, and the integrity of the judicial proceedings. The state submits that the defendant's continued presence in the community under probationary supervision presents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. Now, this is a crazy situation, crazy work from the state. Now, even more interesting, it makes you ask yourself this: what could he have possibly did to actually put himself in this position? Let's dig. Now, what's interesting is that Fulton County does what they do best, and they stress the truth. Now, they did put a statement out saying on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, amplified this act by reposting the image with caption, "Marissa Viverito is the biggest liar in the DA's office." Now, this post quickly went viral, going over 2 million views with thousands of comments and retweets, many of which included direct threats to the investigator and to her family. Now, again, these are all allegations and speculation, and these are Fulton County's words. But here's where it gets interesting. Thug's actual message didn't even actually have her name in it from the beginning. Now, did he insinuate or actually say that maybe this person is the actual biggest liar for the state? Possibly. But again, what happens to his freedom of speech? Now, what's even more ironic is that you would think that knowing that he's still under the radar, under their watch, because you took this plea for what, 13 to 15 years under their custodial supervision, you would think that you would know better than to monitor what you say, limit what you say, and how you say it. But again, are they violating his freedom of speech? Is he able to actually say this? So this was all it actually took for them to actually say, hey, he violated the terms and conditions of this 15-year plea deal. Now, it's interesting because Thug did actually put a response out on Twitter that said this: "I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love." Now, in my opinion, smart response, but hey, this could be the same reason that you actually put yourself in this position the first time. Not to mention, over the past week, he's been making headlines when it came to his actual social media tweets, especially when it comes to Fulton County and the acts coming from the Fulton County Police. Let that sink in. And for those of y'all that don't know, let me catch you up real quick off of this other tweet that I personally believe put him right back on the radar with the Fulton County Police and the DA. Now, Thug, when Street passed away, aka Young Scooter, there was an incident where he fell over the fence, and everything has from there been in question. Now, Thug actually came out and was the first one to say the autopsy came back and revealed that Young Scooter was actually shot. Now, this, in my personal opinion, was the beginning of the state's first approach to actually start censoring what he tweets. But then he turns around and does what? Calls Viverito the biggest liar when it comes to the DA and the Fulton County Police. Not to mention, she's on what? Another Rico with 4PF, OMF, YFN, and even YSL. And let's be real, the state still hasn't figured out how to hold that L, and they'd rather see Young Thug locked up than free and on bail. Yo, stop what you're doing real quick. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free. hit the like button, share the video, hit the like button. Let's dig. Now this is the craziest work, because as you see, they're all still clearly paying attention to everything that he says, does, and tweets. Now, according to the prosecution in the state, that tweet led to direct threats to Detective Viverito. As a direct consequence of these social media posts, Viverito's home address and her parents' home address were publicly shared, exposing them to grave danger. One post stated, "If the hate is really real, then pull up to her mama crib," alongside a photograph of her mother's residence. Hours later, they allege an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of the DA, Fannie Willis. The escalation from targeting a testifying witness to making a direct death threat against the elected DA of Fulton County is a grave and unprecedented attack on the justice system. Now, clearly, this is a targeted attack on Young Thug coming from the justice system. Let me explain. So let's dig. Now, Viverito, in my personal opinion, was the state's star witness outside of Lil Woody when it came to this YSL RICO trial. Now, Viverito did not do what she was supposed to do in the first trial, so as you see, she's clearly being used to actually help the state enhance and go after other actual RICO trials. Now, when it comes to Young Thug and YSL, definitely makes sense. Why would she actually want to go ahead and target them? For one, the defense caught her up in several lies and embarrassed her right there on the stand. So for him to actually say that she is the biggest liar, why not? On top of that, where's the missing jewelry? These boys have been released, out on probation, still under your custody and supervision, but we still going to court for what? Personal property. Now, would it not make sense for him to actually be targeted and be locked back up? Would that not just clear out a lot of stuff? Not to mention, they know Lil Baby and Young Thug have an actual connection. So is this actual target attack on Young Thug the DA's personal intention? Let that sink in. Now, to be real, I do not believe that he's actually going to get his probation revoked. Now, this could go either way, but I believe he's actually stayed out of trouble enough, went through enough. The judge is actually building up his trust over this time, but this will make it just be a slap on the wrist. Plus, he still has his actual defense. But, not to mention, where's his attorney right now on the case, representing who? The state. Now, it's interesting because this is all it takes, as you see, probation. From a personal opinion, he should have never taken it, he should have fought it to the end. But this is what happens when you take your signature and you write it out at the end of that plea with that pen. Now, do I think that Young Thug will actually be violated? Absolutely not. But is the state reaching, and should this be a wake-up call to let him see that they're definitely still on his top? Just because he's not locked up in that block, hey, you're still on Fulton County's watch and on that clock. Man, y'all jump in the comments, let me know y'all's thoughts. Will he get violated? Yeah, got it. Trial coming up when? He got another hearing coming up on April 9th. We definitely gonna cover that too. YSL Part 2 on the way as well. But Young Thug, should he have taken the plea? Again, see how easy it is to get violated on probation, especially when it comes from the state? Personal opinion, should have fought it to the end. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know y'all's thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, tap that like button again. As I said, whether you're a fan of the state, the case, Young Thug, or all of the above, tap that like button to help the channel continue to grow. Again, y'all stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, the greater the height, the greater the weight. The life you save might be your very own. And until next time, I'm your host, Jay. Gone.